on YouTube? It is your man's Mr. Dominic Cruz, feature on ABC, NBC, CBS, Yahoo, and Fox, coming at you with another video. Yes, another one. And don't forget to hit the subscribe button and notification bell every time I make a video. You'll be the first one to know. And I hope you're striving for your purpose and mission in life. Now, everybody has, of course, like there's a embarrassing moment that they look back on, and no one else is more embarrassed than you when you think of it. It's funny. And when you look back at the time that you've begged and pleaded for an ex to take you back or to work things out again, and then you still get rejected, you go into something that's a little foolish behavior. Not only that makes you look ridiculous, but it's like it's pity. But here's the thing: where I was in this when I was in this relationship, with this one girl, and it started back in 2013, and the relationship, it was it broke up back in, like, I would say like a year and a half later, and then got back on 2 weeks later. Broke up it's like another year later, I believe, and then got back on again, and then broke up, and then I think that was it. But here's the thing: the first time there was the first time that we got back together after the first breakup, I did beg and plead. And looking back at it, it it was there was no rejection because I got her back. But looking back at it, I just look at the behavior, and it was just like, oh my God, dude. But it's not as embarrassing because I got her back at the time. Then, given the context, like the chemistry was, it was on point. But when there was a misunderstanding, when there was like an argument, it was because what I knew now, what I know now, and versus what I is basically what I didn't know then. And like, it was A1, all that stuff. But when things got bad, it got bad. So looking now, going to the second breakup, we got back together in 3 weeks. And I don't know how that whole thing happened. I think it was just like passive aggressive behavior between us, to where it was just like indirect messages. Oh man. But, and then going to the one that the whole rejection happened. Now, we basically the breakup happens over, it was basically it was just very passive aggressive miscommunication. It was really bad. Not as bad, so let me take that back. But after a couple weeks, I noticed there was a pattern that I would do, because at the time I did not like to be alone. And I did not. I had that fear of being single, and had that fear of not being in another relationship or having someone just as good, and just as good, because like I connected so well with that person, where it I just feared that I wouldn't find something better or similar, right? Uh, and this is basically like, I didn't know about these breakup videos. I didn't know anything. However, I did know about how to have a good relationship and stuff like that. But there was just so many red flags. I decided to just shrug off, because I had my rose-colored glasses on. Not saying these are rose-colored, but I had rose-colored glasses. Now, going to the part where I started going a little, 2 weeks had passed, and then I started getting like a sense of loss. Then I started experiencing like anxiousness. I started experiencing fear. And then not only that, my emotions were high as hell. And I'm talking cloud nine high, right? So Then, I was asking others for advice. I had one of my friends, I'm still good friends with him. He said, don't do it, don't do it, don't do it. And then, I even asked for family help, and then some told me to write letter. I eventually did the worst thing where I was writing letters, and it was just my emotions all on the paper. It was all on the papers. It was like 20 pages. And I was like, what? And I look back and I'm like, okay, that's a little crazy. and then, and then I decided to get a card. I believe it was a card. Yeah, it was a card that I bought saying I'm sorry and stuff like that, right? Which I don't even know why I say sorry because I didn't do it. Looking back, I don't think I did anything wrong. I yeah, there was just nothing wrong. Uh, but then I decided to make an appearance, basically a surprise. And this is where I tell guys all the time to walk away, don't give into your emotions because I gave into my emotions. I gave into my emotions and it was probably let me it was probably it's just funny, put it that way. So I drive and I have this like picture in my head and I'm like thinking this is gonna work out. It's gonna be great. And there's another side of me that thinks, what if it doesn't go out well? What if I get rejected? Da, 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 da. Like I even had the worst in my head. And I get to the house. I basically ring the doorbell. Her roommates came, and basically they said they didn't want to see me. But I begged them. It's so ridiculous. And pleaded. It wasn't as bad, but I said I needed. I begged them to let me see her because I have something for her. I'll take it for her and give it to her. I said no. I'm not gonna do that. And then let me tell y'all, I was this is like not even logical, right? So looking at it, it took about like 10, 15 minutes, and then she came to the door, and I begged and pleaded for her to take me back. Things just were working. It just wasn't going the way I wanted to. I gave her the I gave her the card. I gave her the letters. It was oh my god. And then while I was begging and pleading, right? I said, "Come on, let's make it work." She yelled out, "I'm seeing someone else." And then y'all ever seen that movie, Spider-Man 3, where Mary Jane told Peter that I'm seeing someone else, and Peter's face was just like in shock and frozen. Basically, that was my face. That was my whole reaction. And then I had to be a little I had to be dramatic about it. I fucking ran to my I'm not and I don't condone this behavior. I don't like the fact that I behaved this way, but I also told her while I before I ran, I you will never find anyone like me, which is a little narcissistic. Which is a little too it's but I didn't know what to think at the time. So here's the thing where I said that and I ran to my car and I just started I can't believe I'm gonna say this. I cried out loud, out loud, outside the car, hoping there was like a pity party. So, shit. So it was, and I drove off, and then I got back to my apartment at the time, and then basically what happened is that I threw my controller. I was just so mad. My brother comes through the door. It's like, yo, you all right? Yo, he tried to calm me down, stuff like that, but I couldn't calm down. My emotions were sky high. Then I went to the gym, worked out, got some steam. I got some steam off at the time. I got some steam off. The next day happens, right? And she texts me throughout the middle of the night, but that's not really important because like I actually was shocked that I got a text. But The next day happens, and while I'm at work, I actually had a because I was working at a law firm with I was working in the same building, same office as my mom and my brother. So I went into my mom's office. She had to talk to me, and she said, "I got a message." And I was like, and I said from her, and then she said no, from my mom. And basically, I got threatened with a lawsuit. No, no, not lawsuit. I got threatened with a restraining order because of my behavior that night, which I didn't like make any threats, but I can understand like how my emotions were that high could actually scare someone off. So, so, so looking at it, I was like, at the time, I was like shocked. I can't believe it, and I was actually in denial to where it's like, I know that's not her. I know she wouldn't do that. I know that, but I'm like, but don't be fooled for real. If I could talk to myself from that time, I was be like, yo, don't be fooled. But I wouldn't have listened. so so I got threatened with it. And no restraining order came through, but I was very, very shocked the fact that I got threatened with it. And then, you know, my ex at the time kept talking to me. She kept like trying to string me along and stuff like that. And then I just said, I'm done. I'm done trying. I'm done trying to get back together. I need to work on myself because I am not. There was just so many. There was just like basically nothing that I can do, and I feel like I was at the same at the time. I think it was the best possible thing to just like let her go and just let her do her thing because I know that me staying in the picture is not gonna help, and I'm not gonna let you like string me along, which a lot of guys go through today. Is that guys get strung along hoping that they can get back with their ex when their ex is really not trying to make any effort. And this is actually why I started doing what I'm doing now because I'm trying to teach others, to get over their ex and actually live a fulfilling life. So and you're not if you're someone that begged and pleaded, and it's so embarrassing to you. I'm gonna tell you that you're not alone. For real, you're not alone. And because that whole thing is supposed to teach you character, like you're basically character building. You're growing to another person. The old you was actually dying, but what you don't know until you experience it, go through it, and then the rest is history. So, uh, I can't like. Let me just say this real quick. When I talk about that particular incident, and what led to a threat of a restraining order, that was a little embarrassing for me to tell. But because I look back and I'm just like, it's not embarrassing for me to tell you. It's embarrassing for me to like relive it, and just like, ugh, damn. But the thing is, things happen for a reason. You grow. It happens for a reason. You don't just learn from it, but you grow from it. You apply certain things. You apply certain things to make you better. And I'm not saying you apply the failure that I'm not saying like you learn from failure because you really don't learn from failure. You only learn from the things. You only learn to get better. All right, and that's basically what you should be doing every single day. It's just working to be better. If you're in a position right now to where you don't know how to get your ex back, your ex doesn't want you, or you're hopeless on finding love, you fear to be single, or you fear that you're never gonna find someone better than your ex, or you know, honestly, at the end of the day, nothing will get better until you start becoming better every single day. And how you become better is by becoming a better person every single day. So whatever you did yesterday, that was you being better than the day before. So you today is being better than yesterday because the you tomorrow is going to be better than you today. Um, but telling that story, just reliving it, it's just embarrassing. But it's it's a good thing that it happened. But that time, I was really blind. And I know that a lot of guys can experience that will experience of just being blind from like the reality, and not just the reality, but how they really feel about you, some, and how your relationship really was. Because when it's over, you'll see a different side, and that's not a different side that says they're just being a different person. That's actually the true side. So um that's actually the true colors. And there's people, and then if you were in that relationship, of course they show that true color as well, but there's also that side to where they can really go down and dirty against you. And I'm not saying that, I'm not saying that about like, the previous women that I've dated or anything like that, but I'm saying that, from basically what I've learned. So, um, that was funny. But that's pretty much the whole thing. That's basically why I do what I do. But if you're someone that's trying to get over their ex, you can get my brand new book called 10 Simple Tips to Get Over Your Ex out on Amazon right now. And of course, my videos find any of value to you. You can donate by using Venmo or PayPal in the description box as well. And of course, if you're someone that wants one-on-one coaching, then you can also click on the link below and of course, book a session with me starting today. I mean, tomorrow, excuse me. But if you find this information valuable, drop a like, drop a comment, drop a share, and of course, it is your man's Mr. Dominic Cruz coming at you with another video. Yes, another one, another one, another one. Until next time, ladies and gentlemen, take it easy.